An alternate ham radio organization is in hot water with the ARRL, and a popular ham radio event has been canceled for this year. Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, welcome back to Ham Shack TV on this late, now early Sunday morning here on the East Coast. I'm Josh AA4WX, your host right here on Ham Shack TV. Thank you for joining me. A couple of news stories have broken the last couple of days, and I wanted to share them with you. But before we do, a quick word from the sponsor. The Ham Shack TV Hamfest Tour is fueled by Ham Radio Prep and World Radio League. Folks, let me tell you about Ham Radio Prep. Ham Radio Prep is an awesome company. They can help you learn what you need to know in order to pass your technician license, your general license, or your extra class exam as well. They also have Baofeng Basics, MCOM, and a HF Masterclass. So I want you to go check out my friends at hamradioprep.com and use my coupon code HamShackTV for an additional 10% off their already great prices. So let's get into the news. We appreciate Ham Radio Prep as well. Really do. Let's get into the news and talk about what's going on. I wanted to share this page with you here. This is the Facebook page for a new organization. Let's just be real. They're probably trying to rival the ARRL, and that's great. That's great. We need alternatives to the ARRL. They have received a cease and desist letter from the ARRL concerning some stuff. Let's read the article here, and we'll skip all the formal stuff here. We would like to formally inform our members, supporters, and the public about an important update to our organization's description. Earlier this month, we received a formal cease and desist letter from the American Radio Relay League, ARRL. In this letter, the ARRL legal representative requested that we immediately discontinue the use of the phrase, a National Association for Amateur Radio Operators, citing that the phrase, the National Association for Amateur Radio, has been trademarked by the ARRL. While we have not used their trademark phrase directly, the letter expressed that the ARRL is concerned that our description, a National Association for Amateur Radio Operators, is likely to result in confusion in the marketplace. To promote clarity in the marketplace, the ARRL also asked that we use a registered trademark symbol when referring to the ARRL. This is garbage, ARRL. This is another point that you all have issues. Sorry. This is just nitpicking, if I type the ARRL, they want the registered trademark. That's just garbage. I'm not associated with the National Amateur Radio Alliance anyway. I have been approached, but I'm not I've not obliged. For full transparency, they have the letter from the ARRL, registered trademark, there as well. You can go to National Amateur Radio Alliance's Facebook and find that. They go on to say, first and foremost, we would like to express our appreciation to the ARRL, registered trademark, for recognizing the National Amateur Radio Alliance, NARA, as a legitimate and dedicated organization serving the amateur radio community. We believe that both of our organizations share a common goal, to enhance and expand the amateur radio community. Given the large number of licensed amateur radio operators across the United States, we believe multiple national organizations can coexist, each supporting and promoting the hobby in their own way. At NARA, or NARA, maybe I'm mispronouncing that, I don't know. We view the amateur radio operators as part of a community, a diverse group of individuals who come together to share knowledge, learn, and support one another. Our organization was formed to foster this sense of community, not to participate in a marketplace. As such, we respectfully disagree with the ARRL registered trademarks assertion that amateur radio operators can constitute a, quote, marketplace. We also disagree that using the description, a National Association of Amateur Radio Operators, is likely to result in confusion between NARA and the ARRL registered trademark. Although the Alliance is a young and modern ham radio organization, we hold a deep and unwavering respect for the history and traditions that have shaped the world of amateur radio. We understand that amateur radio has always been a community built on values of mutual respect, cooperation, and a shared commitment to communication, experimentation, and public service. These values have been the foundation of a hobby for generations, and we strive to carry that spirit forward in everything we do. In line with this long-standing tradition of respect and cooperation, we recognize that while we may not fully agree with the ARRL registered trademark's stance on the points mentioned above, it is important to acknowledge and respect their position. At the Alliance, our focus is supporting and enhancing the amateur radio community, and we'd rather allocate our resources toward that mission. Therefore, rather than legally contesting their trademark, which has been in place less than 5 years, or engaging in a battle over the ability to call ourselves a National Association for Amateur Radio Operators, we have made the decision to simply respect their request and comply with it. Although there are only a few ways to describe a national national organization that serves amateur radio operators, we will modify the language describing the National Amateur Radio Alliance. Effective immediately, we will no longer refer to ourselves as a National Association for Amateur Radio Operators. Instead, we will use the description, a coast-to-coast amateur radio association, in all promotional materials, documentation, and public communications. This change is being made solely to comply with the request from ARRL registered trademark legal representatives. However, it does not alter our mission, our nationwide reach, or our commitment to supporting amateur radio enthusiasts across this country. We remain dedicated to stepping up as a prominent organization for the amateur radio community. And if you want to read the rest of this, it is available very easily through the Facebook page of the National Amateur Radio Alliance. And I just want to tell you folks, I admire what they are trying to do. I'm, again, not a member. I'm not affiliated. I'm not associated with them at all. But I admire what they're trying to do. We need an alternative to the amateur radio, or the American Radio Relay League. You can see back in my playlist, I've done a few videos on the ARRL, and let me tell you, the ARRL needs to worry less about putting a freaking registered trademark symbol after their name and focus more on helping amateur radio and less about counting money, because guess what? They're about to be bankrupt if they keep up the way they're going. There desperately needs to be a change of leadership at the ARRL registered trademark, I might add. I'm just very disappointed. Guys at NARA, I'm sorry this has happened to you. I really do. I appreciate you all being cooperative with them, though. I mean, it's better than what they did to you all. So I really appreciate you all going to that. Now, in full disclosure, I am a member of the ARRL registered trademark. I have been a member for a couple years. Well, about a couple years now. So my membership expires in about 1 year from now. They're not getting a single freaking penny from me going forward. And it's numerous things. It's not just the magazine by any stretch of the imagination, because frankly, I didn't read the magazine. It was 90% ads. The only time I looked through it would be to see basically the table of contents, what's in it, and that's it. So the magazine was toilet paper anyway. It really was. But the fact of the matter is, I don't see what the ARRL is doing for us anymore. I really don't. I just don't. And the fact of the matter is, they cut the magazine, but they didn't cut dues. And I'm sorry, they're not going to get a single penny out of me again until there's actual change. They're just not. And guys, if you have the same sentiments, or if you have a dissenting sentiment, get down in the comments and let me know. I think this whole thing is quite ridiculous, just to be honest with you. And who knows, maybe there'll be change come. But the fact of the matter is, we need to change leadership, and the whole entire board needs to be wiped out up there. It really does. Anyway, let's move on to our next story here. And this is not so fun. The W4DXCC DX and Contest Convention for 2025 has been canceled. Article here from their website, w4dxcc.org, says after careful consideration and evaluation, 2025 W4DXCC is canceled, and they are looking options for 2026. It was not an easy decision, and possibly a 1-year gap can make it possible again. Steve, KI4KWR W4DXCC convention leader. So, yeah, this is unfortunate. And if you've never been to one of these, I personally have never been to one of these, but it looks like they were already planning the schedule and that kind of thing. It looks like it was pretty inexpensive to go. It was only $30. So that's really disappointment. The W4DXCC event was scheduled to be at coincide with the Huntsville Hamfest coming up in 2025, and it's unfortunate that they've had to kill it for this year. It used to be held in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, right up the street from me, but unfortunately, that's just what they've had to do. I don't know what the reasonings are behind this, but they've had to decide something else. So let's hope that comes back to fruition next year, and check out these folks and see if you can show them a little support. So anyway, guys, that's about it for this video. I appreciate you watching. A little bit about what's coming up here on the channel. We're obviously the newest episode of This Week in Amateur Radio has dropped. You'll see that as the previous video to this one. And again, that's just a podcast, so no fancy video, no fancy graphics. It is the raw podcast from This Week in Amateur Radio, which I do anchor a couple times a month. So excited about that. Hope you all are enjoying that. And I'm also trying to cut that up into smaller bites for you guys. I know an hour and a half podcast is hard to listen to. I believe you me, I do. So I try to cut it up into smaller bite-sized pieces for you to get the word out. But the This Week in Amateur Radio podcast is available on all major podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all kinds of places. So you can find it relatively easily. But we will always post it right here on Hamshag TV. Love being a part of This Week in Amateur Radio. Next weekend, 1 week from yesterday, will be the ARRL Fest in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm going to republish my interview with Nancy Torbaugh, I believe is her last name. She's the chairman of the Raleigh Hamfest, ARRL Fest as it is called, in Raleigh, North Carolina. Friday afternoon, I will be making the trek to Raleigh, and we will have coverage from Raleigh. I may do a Facebook or a YouTube live while I'm there, but I don't think I will have the videos posted for a couple of days following that, because it is a 6-hour drive back from Raleigh. So we're looking forward to it, guys. Hope y'all have a great day, great week. Enjoy your Sunday if you're watching this on Sunday, and we'll see you on the next video. 73s, AA4WX, WSEB 693.